Good evening and welcome. This is Dr. Dew, and you are tuned in to Internet Blog Talk Radio program called Say a Word About This. You can find us on the World Wide Web at drdew.com, DRDUE.com. Tonight we're doing a YouTube casting as well as the Blog Talk Radio. And those of you there following us on YouTube, you can simply go to blogtalkradio.com/dr-do. blogtalkradio.com/dr-due to get the full-length program. Tonight we're going to delve into an interesting topic. We've been doing that for the last several weeks, some pretty provocative things. And so I'm going to kind of give the introduction now, and then we'll get into the detail after we finish the the candy part of this evening's discussion on the YouTube. The title is one that will disturb some, and others will readily acknowledge it. And the title for tonight is What If Your Pastor is Reprobate? And we'll get into that. And incidentally, when we use the title reprobate, that can and pastor interchangeable there, we can actually say pastor, apostle, prophet, evangelist, or teacher, or minister. We could have just said minister. And then reprobate, of course, is a state of mind, a state of being that we will give more detail when we get into the program, and we have actual scriptures. See, this program, this work we do, is sponsored by Joy Christian Center. So you can go there if you want more information, and that's joychristiancenter.org. All one word, runs together, joychristiancenter.org. And they're on our website. If you like that website and you sign up, you'll get a PDF, free PDF of the prayer model. So we have some connections here, and that's why we welcome you, because we're so excited about people around the world that are now following and listening to these programs and getting information that is helpful in their daily lives. This whole concept of a reprobate, we come to that because our work is dealing in the area of abuse, and in specifically the things that I was able to overcome as a child and grow out of through the help of the Holy Spirit. And so the emphasis is to give you insight on different situations, as we did. What if your abuser was your mother? What if your abuser was your father? What if your abuser was your brother? And on. You can go to our YouTube or to the Blog Talk Radio and pull those programs up in the archives if you like. And so we illustrate challenges or issues that some people have, and behaviors that people have. And then the whole idea, though, is to let you see these things are real. They're happening today. We're not talking if something's not relevant, especially this month being a month, April is Abuse Awareness Month. So we're right in the middle of abuses. And then to know that God used Paul to speak specifically in 1 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, against abuse, and God's term was, it's an abomination. It's detestable to him. So we're dealing with something that is close to God's heart, not close in the way that he would want it. He would rather have us being loving and caring and kind and true and faithful and etc., allowing the fruit of the Spirit to work in our life. But there are those, though, who do have lives where they find themselves being in this case, a reprobate. And I've heard it taught over my lifetime that to have a reprobate mind means that a person's going to hell. And so I will let that cat out of the bag. That's not true. Let's get that clear now. No, if you have a reprobate mind, you can be turned around. It can be changed. But remember that the change has to come from within, and it comes from within when you accept the love of God, the understanding of God, and the transformation that will take place, and you let go of this dastard behavior of reprobation and accept God's way, and you can be redeemed. So you're not, unless now you're one of those who also is not only reprobate and basically have a depraved mind, a mind that was given over to evil by God. That's what it really means. But if you also decide to blaspheme the Holy Spirit, and we'll talk a little about a case study tonight of a pastor who basically, I'm very close to blaspheming, but we know they're reprobate. So we'll talk about that in our longer version here with the program. So the idea then is to know that if you're one of those who has been turned over and you come to your senses like the prodigal son came to his senses, or a prodigal daughter that comes to her senses, and you accept God's way and you allow yourself to come out of the place you are, you can become an overcomer. You can learn to, number one, the processes that we have in terms of getting the understanding, coming to the place of where you transform, where you basically forgive yourself for allowing such nonsense to happen in your life, receiving that forgiveness from God as though it were in Mark 11, and of course then being able to walk in a new way of life, a transformation out of that. So it can be. The choice, though, is yours. And if you know someone or heard of some pastor, well, like I said, apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, or a minister, or someone, whatever they are, we'll just say someone, who is in a reprobate state, I would encourage you to, if you can talk to them, do, but more probably you'll be able to pray for them and just believe God to bring them out, and pray that they will accept the transformation, that someone can get to them and let them know they can be changed. You are tuned in to Say a Word About This. This is Dr. Dew, and we're doing a YouTube as well as the Blog Talk Radio. And so I want to leave those of you that are going to be going on with the YouTube with our thought. As you remember now, you can find us on the World Wide Web at drdue.com, or you can go to joychristiancenter.org, all one word, and find out more of the ministry, drdue.com. You find out more about our work in the areas of abuse and overcoming and becoming an overcomer, a victor. That is where we want to help you to get if you're not there. And as I always say, be careful. Don't put yourself in harm's way when you're dealing with these people that are out there, because some of them can be pretty vicious. But pray. And so as we tune off of the YouTube part of this program, let me just give you the thought that God gave me about all of what I have gone through, and that is, and this is a trademark, pain is not for life. All right, till next time, come back and join us with our YouTube listeners.